Hi scholars, Miss Keck here, super excited to jump in with your coding lesson of Unit 2 today. This is your first coding lesson in Unit 2. We're gonna jump in to finish our Hello Ruby book. Serve me silent excitement. I'm super excited to finish our book. Alrighty, let's get started. Chapter 10, Home. Back in her own bed, Ruby thinks about the long day. She's almost asleep when Dad walks in. Dad, I found all the gems. I made a plan. Ruby starts sleepily. There's Ruby sleeping in her bed. It wasn't perfect, but that's okay because I got help from curious penguins and we built a raft together. And then I met a lonely snow leopard who taught me to focus and make a ladder. And I helped the gardening foxes work better together and learned how to bake the most delicious cupcakes with the robots. Even Bossy Django helped me. Wow. They're also very, very different, but they all helped me on my adventure in some way. And they're all friends. Alrighty, scholars. Awesome job jumping into that story. Before we get started on our lesson today, dealing with coding vocabulary, can you tell Ms. Keck what happened in Hello Ruby? Retell me the story of what happened in Hello Ruby. You can tell me right now. Awesome job, scholars. You did a great job of retelling me Hello Ruby. Kiss your brain. Awesome job, scholars. Now, today we're going to jump into our coding lesson. Silent excitement. Awesome job. Let's jump in. So today we're going to talk about coding vocabulary. Can you say vocabulary? Awesome job, scholars. Vocabulary are words that pertain to a certain topic. Today, our vocabulary is about our code. Alrighty, so we're gonna jump in. You'll see right here, this is a code made in Blockly that Miss Keck made. I made this code, and this code is for Dash to celebrate the Steelers winning a football game. Miss Keck loves the Steelers, so she made a code with Dash celebrating that. First, he starts out with our start button, then goes backward, 50, normal. Then he looks towards the voice and says, hi. And then he does his all light celebration with all lights yellow. Then his right ear turns black. Then his left ear turns yellow. And then all lights go black. And that repeats forever to celebrate Miss Keck's favorite football team. Alrighty, we're going to jump into the vocabulary while looking at this code. So you've probably heard this, and this is something called a sequence. Say sequence. Sequence, awesome. So sequences, you've made very many sequences on Blockly, as well as in your coding projects. So sequence is a set of instructions that we give to Dash and Dot to perform an action. So sequences are a set of instructions that we give to Dash and Dot to perform an action. They're a set of instructions. We follow instructions all day, whether we're baking a cake, whether we're playing some sports, we have to follow some instructions, or whether we're listening to our teacher. So those are sequences. Say sequences. Say sequences in a mousy voice. Sequences. You got it. Awesome job, scholars. So sequences. So if we go back to our code, this whole code is a sequence. We read our sequence from top to bottom. Alrighty, our next word is a new word. Can you say algorithm? Say algorithm. Awesome job, scholars. An algorithm is a coding term for a set of instructions that need to be sequenced. So an algorithm is a coding term for a set of instructions that need to be sequenced. So this is the why of our instructions. Why do we need to sequence the instructions? So in our sequence right here, we need to sequence these instructions so we can celebrate the Steelers. Awesome. Alrighty, friends. And then our last word is loops. Say loops. Say loops. Awesome job, scholars. Loops is a coding term for a repeating bit of code that repeats more than once. Loops is a coding term for a repeating bit of code that repeats more than once. So let's look. Do we see any part of our code that repeats more than once? Do we see any part of our code? Point to it. You got it, scholars. You see this repeat forever block. So our lights are going to, our black and yellow lights are going to repeat forever. It can be a loop if it repeats forever, if it repeats 3 times, or if it repeats more than once. Kiss your brain, scholars. You did an amazing job there. Now, scholars, we're going to jump into your activity for the day. You're going to go onto Seesaw and you're going to see this lovely worksheet. You'll see right here, it says part 1. Miss Keck's going to walk you through what you're going to do. So part 1, you're going to identify the sequences, algorithm, and the loop in this block of code that we walk through together. You're going to circle the sequence in red. You're going to circle a loop in blue. And you're going to write the purpose of the code, the algorithm, in the box below. The second part of your assignment is you are going to create your own code in Blockly. Silent excitement for that. You're going to create your own code, and it can be whatever you'd like Dash to do. You're going to put your code into this box, and then you're going to label your code in the same way you did before. Alrighty, scholars, I'm excited to see what you come up with and see how you grow your brains. Amazing job today, scholars, and I'll see you next time. Bye, scholars.